So sometimes when when the initiant consumes these medicines, there's physical reactions. They'll go into a trance, they'll spit, they'll throw up or something like that. The medicines are thought to work regardless of knowledge. So you don't have to understand what the medicines are for them to work. They're given. They're like a medicine that you would give to heal an illness. You don't need to know how penicillin works for penicillin to work. All right. So folks in general do not doubt sort of the role of the witch doctor in society. Evans Pritchard notes that their medicines are considered therapeutic and their performances are dynamic and compelling. He pretty much says, you're not going to see them doing any trickery. If they suck a bone dart out of you, you're not going to see them secretly put a piece of bone in their mouth and out your hand. Look, this nasty thing. Yeah. So you're not going to see them do that because they're good at what they do. He says it's really convincing. And he says there's no doubt that they're therapeutic. He said, I see these things work all the time. I see somebody who's suffering, witch doctor comes, does the thing, they feel better. So there's no doubting that it works. And I'm not really a big fan of going, oh, it's just placebo or something. It's inherently interesting stuff. And there's something to it. I mean, I don't believe people get possessed by the devil, but there's no denying from all of our research documenting exorcism cases that the exorcism event is captivating and does tend to end up being therapeutic in one way or another. Evans Pritchard at the end explains that in the final stage of initiation, and this is so classic in shamanic culture around the world, the initiant is buried alive, and when he emerges, he is new, he is reborn. He'll often take a new name and be able to function as a witch doctor. He's fully gone through the ritual death and rebirth. So what is the place of these characters in Zandi society? Well, make sure I get all my pages right here. Yes, they combat witchcraft, heal the sick, support agriculture, bless the hunt that's going to happen. They ward off dangers. Pritchard writes, magic gives him power to see into the hearts of men and reveal their evil intentions, to see the witches. In this case, he possesses Mangu Angwa. Mangu is witchcraft, and you'll actually see on the cover of our book, you have a diagram here, and it says Mangu, and there's Ngua. Now, Soroka, that's going to be secret societies, if I remember right. Okay, so he has witchcraft and magic. He can harm or protect. He can kill or he can cure. Their seances are a battle against and with witchcraft. And witchcraft is everywhere for the Azandi. They also have powers of vengeance magic. So you don't want to cross these guys. So if somebody does something wrong, they can do magic against them that isn't considered witchcraft. And we'll get into some of those details a little bit later. They're also the ones who deploy the Oracle of the Rubbing Board, which we'll see in the documentary. In a twist, many witch doctors, or many people in the community of the Azandi, will say that witch doctors are liars who are only concerned with wealth. And I swear, every religious community I've ever been in always says, oh, this prominent religious guy is doing this and this, oh, he's just in it for the money. That's just kind of a constant human thing that people do. Okay, so the thing is, even somebody who says, oh, these witch doctors, they're just trying to scam people out of money or whatnot, that doesn't keep the skeptic from going to the witch doctor. It's still important. It's very common that even despite being skeptical, you'll still consult them. Now, the pronouncements of these witches are actually able to be checked for accuracy by checking them with the Rubbing Board or with the Poison Oracle. And the Poison Oracle is always considered the most reliable, to be almost infallible. Okay, now here's another little concern. If the witch doctor is himself a witch, that means he can see witches. He can see witchcraft energy flying around. Now, the witch doctors will say that their magic is solely based on, or their power is based on their magic. It's not based on witchery, but there's an underlying theme that they may also be witches. In fact, people will openly say that a witch doctor who's really, really successful is probably a witch as well. Now, we see that they are involved in politics in some way. They don't have political power, but royalty and princes will consult witch doctors regularly and sponsor seances. And patronize these witch doctors. In this way, the witch doctors don't have political power, but they have influence because they have proximity to the aristocracy and to the nobility. The nobles continually say they sponsor the witch doctors because, well, they're not witches. Their activities are good. They're therapeutic. They're not to be feared. What a witch doctor does is a good thing. So witch doctors are in an interesting position. Like Evans Pritchard, like really, he kind of comes in and says, like, they have greater knowledge than other people, and they have secret knowledge, and they also know a lot more about plants than your average person. So they have this secret knowledge, but they also have this powerful medicine that's inside of them. And one of the things that I think is really interesting about those medicines is, similarly to a lot of stuff you see in Central America, when they take in the medicine, it changes them, but they have a relationship with the medicine. They will praise and talk to the medicine as if the medicine is a conscious agent that then lives inside of them and grants them power. In this way, it's not just that they consume these medicines, but they have a relationship with the plant world and the spirits of the plant world. There's a system of reciprocity. Robert Baer is a really interesting guy who studies psychedelics, and he's noted that one of the problems with this psychedelic revolution that's happening right now is it's divorced from the relationship system that you traditionally see amongst users of entheogens in Central America, where one has an experience by taking in the plant, and then you have a relationship with the plant. You have an ongoing dynamic relationship with the plants as you go on different journeys and continue interacting. You're integrated with something. It's not a drug. All right, so the prestige is based on knowledge of plants and the powerful medicine within them. That said, they know that when they're extracting yucky stuff from their patients, they're using trickery. They just know that. But they don't have a conflict with it like you would think we would, or we would as Westerners. So Evans Pritchard notes that their incredible wisdom, especially their and also their sort of even-handedness, their way of reading society. So they very carefully interpret oracles for the best interpretation for everyone. They keep society together in a lot of ways. But despite all this great knowledge and their knowledge of their own trickery, they believe in witchcraft and witches and magic in the same way that a layperson does. So, takeaways. Witches might not appear to be intentional, like they're unconscious witches, but the Zandi do not posit this, though I feel like they secretly do in a little way. Our witch doctors diagnose and battle witchcraft, and they function as important features in society. Witch doctors' initiation introduces knowledge and places medicines into the body, creating a relationship with the natural and supernatural and spirit world. And these witch doctors have a very prominent place in the society of the Zandi. All right, that's all for today. Catch you next time. Bye-bye, y'all.